Welcome back to the Talan Brothers podcast. This is episode 2. We got a lot of new stuff to talk about, new trailers and new movies that we watched. I am Nathan Talan, the host. With me today to my right is...
My name is Nicholas Talan. I am a member of the Talan Brothers.
And to my left...
I'm Tyler Bourne. I'm not a member of the Brothers.
He's just a friend. But let's jump into it. We got a bunch of news to talk about. Not too big of talking points, but... some interesting stuff. What
should we first talk about why our episode to this day is not on YouTube yet?
Yeah, that's a Nick Talan problem. He runs the video division of the Talan Brothers, and it's collapsing in on itself already.
Yeah, it'll be up probably today sometime. Having some exporting issues with Premiere as far as time goes. We're reaching around 32 hours on the export time. So
sweet. Don't know how that happened, but also iTunes hates us. Spotify hates us.
We're going to switch our provider, or what is it called? Hosting service?
Yeah, I'm pissed about the whole scenario.
Let's go ahead. Oh,
someday you'll all be able to listen to this.
Someday people will be able to.
And just a quick thing, too. Nate may be a little mad this episode because we went to Lollapalooza yesterday and he lost his phone there.
I don't know why you got to bring that up, but here we are.
All right.
We are back for episode 2, though. Thank you guys for the support for episode 1, those who listened to it. We like doing it, so we'll continue to do it weekly. We already kind of screwed up the release, but one day late is not that big of a deal. Plus, we got to see more movies.
Yeah, let's wait till like episode 5 to just have a set schedule. Let's kind of
feel it out.
Yeah.
It's the test stages. It's the pilot stages, you know?
We'll like 5, 10 viewers.
We'll see if someone picks us up and we get sponsorship deals like MoviePass. Okay, let's continue. First story is the Guardians of the Galaxy released a statement about James Gunn. And then it was released that Disney has no plans of bringing him back.
And no surprise to either one.
Yep.
We talked about this last week, and I feel like I have no further points to make on it other than I don't think Disney's in the wrong completely.
I don't either.
Just because, what their brand represents. And I still think that the things James Gunn said were too far and too wrong for him to get the job back. And it excites me that we get to see another Guardians movie with a different voice. So
what scares me is now, are the Guardians going to phone it in, or are they not going to care about this new one? Because Dave Bautista is mad on Twitter. Yeah. He's like the most vocal about the entire thing.
They should do what the DC universe is going to do and just cancel everything for the rest.
It's not like they have it planned till 2024.
Who's the least vocal? Probably Chris Pratt,
Chris Pratt was posting. Chris Pratt's pretty vocal about everything. Like, he's posting Bible verses and stuff about it. Zoe Saldana is pretty quiet.
Bradley Cooper, has he said anything about it?
He signed the paper.
I saw his name, but I didn't.
I was like, oh, yeah, Bradley Cooper is Rocket. Good for him, because that's... I love Rocket. Okay, but we'll see.
Doesn't surprise me.
Still hoping for Taika. Who would be another good director?
Edgar Wright.
Would never do it.
That'd be perfect though with the music and the characters, but whatever.
He would never do it.
It's a weird thing trying to find a new director because, like I said last time too, I feel like we're in an age where there's so many young, really talented directors out there.
Let's throw Jonah Hill on it.
I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah, no surprise to either one. Good for the Guardians though to kind of pull together and support him.
I was surprised that they came out and were like, yeah, we do not agree with Disney at all. So it just made Guardians 3 a whole lot more interesting in my eyes, how it's going to turn out.
It's a marketing tactic. James Gunn is going to ghost direct.
Bet.
All right, let's go.
Do you think they'll still use his script? Because he wrote it.
Yeah,
that's an interesting point. And if they do, is it still more or less going to be a James Gunn film? Like, even if it's directed by someone else, if they use his exact script, is it still pretty much just going to feel like the last two?
I think it depends on the director. Like, if they get one fresh out of like the
Josh
indie
Whedon,
scene,
yeah,
no, fresh out of like the indie scene, like they usually do that. They can have control over but if it's someone like Taika Waititi who comes in and makes most of the movie improv anyways, that's when I don't know. It would depend on the director, but we'll see. Next bit of news is John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan are Laurel and Hardy in Stan and Ollie, a movie about this old comedic duo, and the costumes look great. Like, John C. Reilly is like in a fat suit, and he looks exactly like the guy, and they released a cool thing where they're like reading the newspaper, and you see like his hat and like just the other person's head, and then like on the cover is when you got to see them in costume, like it was a picture of them. I'm interested. I don't know barely anything about them or the old comedic duo.
Me
I'm sure
either.
I watched some stuff in international film about them or something.
It's a movie that I don't think I have any excitement for right now, but I think John C. Reilly is really underrated as an actor. He's mostly just known for his comedic stuff, but he's really good in a lot of his more dramatic roles.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Let's see what happens. At least we know that the production value and costumes and all that stuff will be there.
Yep.
Have you guys ever heard of the movie Carnage? It's a really small movie that John C. Reilly's in. It's about
Is
two
it about the
couples.
symbiote?
It's a prequel to the wonderful Venom that's going to be coming out.
Nice.
No, but it's just a drama comedy about these two families whose kids got in a fight, so they kind of have dinner together and they want to talk out what happened between their kids, and then they start fighting, and it's really funny. I really enjoy it. It's like a black comedy, but
Cool.
real good.
No, Nick's not a fan of it then.
No, I'm fine. Whatever.
Nick doesn't know how to appreciate humor that's not dumb.
Thank you.
That's not true.
All right, next bullet point I have is the Mowgli movie is going to Netflix. Netflix bought the rights. Dead on arrival.
Not a good look.
Not a good look.
It's I think it's good that they bought it because that movie was gonna bomb if it went to
Yeah.
theaters because nobody cares. We just saw it. The general movie going audience is not gonna want to go see a movie that they just saw a year ago. That was
a
good.
darker take on the Jungle Book.
Yeah, no one just watched.
Why do we need that?
You don't.
Well, Andy Serkis's was in development before Disney, and then Disney fast-tracked it. And
Yeah.
then Jon Favreau kind of did a good job. Nice,
Yeah.
fun movie.
Yeah, whatever.
But Nick hated it.
No, I didn't.
You didn't like it?
No, I liked it.
No, tell us what your real thoughts on it were. Don't lie.
I watched it about a year and a half ago, I think, right? It came out 2016.
Yep.
I liked it.
Do you have any
Are you
Thoughts
excited?
on it?
Are you excited about the live action in quotes Lion King movie?
Yeah, I'm
The one
excited.
that's
I'm
all
excited
fake?
for all those.
It's all fake and there's no live action.
I'm
of
excited
anything
for all
about it.
those. I think it's cool to see animation being pushed to relive these old animated
As an
ones.
animation fan, don't think it's necessary because animation can stand on its own. But
I
I'm
agree
interested
with
to
Nate.
see Donald Glover as Simba. But Mowgli, not excited about it. Faces look weird on the animals.
Yeah, it's like you can see the face,
On
like a human face.
Because
Yeah.
that's what they did. They took like
Yeah,
Christian
yeah.
Bale's face and stuff and then smushed it.
Yeah, am I
onto-
right? Yeah, it looks like they took a human face. They took like the capture of
so
that,
you could get the motion
and-
capture for the emotion.
and then they modified its bone structure to an animal.
Mm-hmm.
They just took the human bone structure and like
Yep, that's exactly what they did.
I didn't know that.
So that because everyone's doing mocap because it's an Andy Serkis movie, so everyone's doing mocap for the stuff. So you get like their facial tics, and you get like this weird, uncanny valley animal
It's-
thing. Where the other one
wow.
was kind of, I thought it was gonna be weird, like watching these animals talk,
but it
was
wasn't.
fine. I
Yeah.
was like, okay.
and
Yeah.
sing songs and stuff,
Yeah.
which is the best part of the movie, and that's why it was enjoyable. That's why this
I
one
For a
was
lot
not-
of those-
the Christopher Walken sing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I want to be like. It doesn't. It's just. What's the point of making a darker take on a children's
Do you
tale?
think there'll be songs?
No.
Well, I mean, you ever hear of the Grimm brothers?
Yes.
Those would be cool movies. I think those are darker takes on the same
I'd like
stories.
to see
It's-
the real Little Mermaid story.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Do you know
Anyway,
the Cinderella one, wherein he goes and he tries to put the shoe on other people, and it like breaks their toes
yeah.
and stuff, and they're bleeding.
yeah,
Alright,
good for
That's
them.
the
it
Brothers
fits.
Grimm Cinderella.
That's fine. Like that's. I mean, that's not as gruesome as I thought it was gonna be. I thought they're gonna break it and start stabbing people or something.
Wreck-It Ralph 2.
What? Oh,
That's what she.
yeah, you're right. All right.
Next one, Incredibles 2 gets to $1 billion faster than any animated film ever. Not surprising to me.
Congrats. Maybe they'll make another one in 40 years.
I hope so.
They should make one more, but Brad Bird is always like, people keep saying like, where's whatever Ratatouille 2? Where's all the? He's like, how about an original movie? That's what he always replies.
And then
to.
everyone says boo.
Yeah, he's like so sad. But look it, he made some of the best animated movies of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me get another original idea from him.
Yeah.
And maybe even live action.
Did he direct
Tomorrowland
Ratatouille?
Sucks. Yeah.
Let me
why
get
it's so
like
good.
that's
Yep.
the thing.
That's
Hey,
exactly why
hey,
it's
let me
so
get
good.
a couple original ones and then revisit it in 15 years.
Yep.
Incredibles
and then
3.
make it if they want to be the same age, whatever. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing
Making them older.
Yeah,
Yeah,
making them
that'd be-
older.
that'd be
like because now they have all the
It'd be
heroes,
fresh again.
and then it could be all the villains, and then still have like the older. Because he said you'd lose the family dynamic, but it might create more dynamics if they're older. Violet's on her own. Dash is like, in high
maybe
school.
like even like grandparents.
maybe
type
Jack
stuff.
goes evil.
I don't like that. I like Jack. Jack is a nice little boy.
Okay. Maybe maybe grandparents. Violet has a kid. I don't know with Totally riding Jer.
All right, we're jumping too far.
Not surprising.
I think it's cool that it made it to $1 billion really fast. It's cool that so many people were excited to see this movie, and
it got them
I was
in the
kind of
theater.
scared for it. Where I was like,
I didn't think it would do that well.
Yeah, I was like, everyone says they're excited for it, but it might be one of the things where like maybe it's just the vocal minority of people that really want to see it. Nah,
everybody wanted.
Good.
I just hope that it doesn't win Best Animated Picture, which I think it has a good chance.
What would you rather have?
Isle of Dogs will win.
Early Man.
Are you being for real though?
No,
I think Early Man was good, but
no, that shouldn't win.
Even if I loved Isle of Dogs not as much as other Wes Anderson movies, not as much as Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think
it's a work
this will
of art.
be the year where Wes Anderson gets a dub.
I don't know.
We'll see. We still have a lot of animated movies to come out. Grinch, Smallfoot.
Hold on.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse looks really good. I think it looks like a lot of fun.
That won't win though. Isle of Dogs and Incredibles 2 are in my top 5 so far this year.
Oh, man.
And
animated.
Yeah, I love both of them, but I just think Wes Anderson is too niche. Yeah.
That's what I felt like. Isle of Dogs, it's still niche, but because of the dog aspect, I feel like it could be, if it won, it would get a lot more people to watch it, and I feel like people would like it too because it's dogs talking.
Everything in
the conversations that they had, even if it was Wes Anderson dialogue, still was like dogs talking to each other, like how it would.
Everything in the industry is some form of art, but I think Wes Anderson amplifies what it means to create art within this medium.
Nick's a fanboy.
I'm not a fanboy.
You're 100% a fanboy, Wes
Anderson,
which is fine. That's totally cool.
I like his movies,
but you're a fanboy.
I go into his movies wanting the same feeling. I chase that high, baby, and guess what he gives me? A couple puffs of the cinematic universe of Wes Anderson. Am I right? Anyway,
Fantastic Mr. Fox is a better movie.
They're good movies. They're good. They're different.
I'd say Wes Anderson movies are better than good.
Early Man's
they're
better
original
than Isle of Dogs.
And they're incredible.
You think so?
I do think so. I think it's funny. I think it has more heart. I enjoyed it more.
The sushi scene is still. I need to look
great.
it up because it's not. But
it's fantastic.
It gave me one of the most I was like, ooh.
How long did it take them to make that?
Yeah,
62 years.
Yeah,
isn't that what they said?
They started filming it in the 50s.
Over the course of production for the movie.
That's how long it took to make that.
Oh, they have separate teams. Stop motion is crazy because
absolutely.
I mean, I'm into photography and videography, so I kind of see both ends. But it's weird how they literally take still photographs, which is completely different from video in its own regard, and they turn it into a movie. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Not only that is that Wes Anderson will treat it like a live action movie. Well, he'll have things out of focus in the background that's still animated. People on the phone, in Fantastic Mr. Fox when he goes to the office to talk to the Badger. There's the secretary in the background on the phone talking to people, making notes and stuff as they're having a conversation.
Really?
And it's the animators, of course they love it because...
Yeah. I saw an article on Reddit the other day about Isle of Dogs, and people were complaining about how the female characters in it aren't as strong as they should be and how Wes Anderson can do better, which I kind of see, but at the same time...
That's one of, people keep bringing that up about Wes Anderson, and
he relies too much on the male characters to push it forward.
But Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, I think
let's watch that.
I'm always excited to see what he's gonna make.
Yep,
for sure. I don't dislike his movies. I think Grand Budapest is his best that I've seen. I think so, a fantastic film, but his stuff to me is just mostly. I get the feeling that it's style over substance most of the time, and that's not why I go to the movies. I like style. We saw 8th Grade today, and the style was a very stylistically directed movie, but.
There was still something there.
Yeah, there's still way more substance than.
I still think Wes Anderson has
incredible. He's an incredible storyteller, and at the same time, in my defense to what the people are saying with how he has weak female characters and everything like that, my defense would be that I feel like Wes Anderson is almost like an antique shop in Hollywood, meaning all of his movies have kind of this old rustic feel, homemade feel to his movies, to his stories and everything. So when I see his movie, I kind of automatically assume it's taking place 30 years ago or something like that, which sucks. It sucks, but females back then, rights are different and all that type of stuff. And
that's an odd justification for why he might have not the best female roles in his movies, but that's okay.
I guess I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I don't know. I agree though.
I'm excited for whatever he does next. For sure.
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely noticed it in Isle of Dogs. The female character. I noticed it right.
There's like what 2? Oh, and then there's the human
female
one.
dogs.
Yeah,
I think it's
Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
I think people must love working with him because he gets the best ensemble cast for every movie he makes.
And you can tell that people love working for him in that they just drop everything and just do a couple lines. Yeah. Because there's like, for example, I'm going to bring it up one more time, Fantastic Mr. Fox. You can tell he called Adrian Brody. He's like, I have this bit part in this stop motion animated film. Would you be down? And he said yes. And he came in and said 2 lines. And that's everything.
Yeah, and Jeff Goldblum called in over the phone. Because he didn't want to miss out on it.
To do his lines for Isle of Dogs or Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, I think I did hear about that one. All right, what's our next topic?
Tom Hardy. They released a photo of Tom Hardy as Al Capone in Fonzo.
That was old Al Capone, right? People were kind of criticizing it, but it's like when he's older.
Yeah, So is the movie taking place just when he's older, like what he looks like in the makeup there, or is it his whole lifespan? Because to me, if you're going to have someone play Al Capone who's older, just cast an older, fatter guy.
Yeah, maybe it is taking.
Yeah, like if so, that would make sense. But then why release that picture when he's old? Because then it's like
it doesn't look like Tom Hardy. Look
no,
what we're doing.
To me, it looked exactly like Tom Hardy in a fat suit with a way too much fake makeup. Like it looked bad. I did not like the way it looked.
I mean, well, that's before. That's just a still image before post-processing.
I understand that, but to me, I guess my biggest problem with it was I just wanted to see cast an older guy to play an old person.
Yeah. I'm always excited to see what Tom Hardy does minus Venom. You know,
we'll get to it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Star Wars movies. Disney is trying to buy back the broadcast.
No, they
rights.
won't.
Are trying to buy back the broadcast rights for Disney's streaming service. But it turns out that will not happen until 2024 because Turner brought it in 2016, and they do not want to sell it back.
Wait.
The original ones. Does that include the prequels?
It's everything up till 2016. I don't know. I think it's all Star Wars movies till 2024.
All Star Wars products that were made before 2016 are not owned by Disney. The rights to
broadcast them, so they can't stream them. Yeah, they can't.
So they can't throw them on Netflix.
No.
Well,
The Last Jedi is
creating the problem is that they're creating their own streaming service.
Disney is.
Yeah.
Called what is it? Infinity? What is it?
Disney
Now.
Yeah, Infinity something like that. I don't know. Where now they want of course they would want the Star Wars movies on there. Yeah. They can't till 2024 because they don't have the rights. And they were trying to buy them back, and they'd probably pay a lot of money for it.
$1 trillion.
No, yeah. Well, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
Oh, and also, I don't know if you wrote it down, but
production started.
Yeah, just last week, episode 9 started filming.
Who cares?
I do.
We got Game of Thrones next year.
We got all that. We got Stranger Things season 3.
Yep, get that.
We got The Crown season 3.
All you need is Game of Thrones.
JJ.
All right, let's just stop the podcast right there.
Bring it home, JJ.
JJ made a good Star Wars movie, a lot better than Rian Johnson's.
So why can't he make another?
And no, I'm excited for it. I just think. Do you guys think a lot of this stuff from 8 is going to get retconned?
No, I think, and it just pains me to say, I feel like the Star Wars magic is just wearing off on me.
Shut up.
No, I totally agree. It's kind of like comic book movies. You can't get the reason they're fun occasionally is because you don't get one all the time. You know, it's a break from the normal dramas and everything else you see. But now when you get one once a month and a couple Star Wars movies a year, you lose the luster and the fun of seeing them.
And I went back.
I'm still in it. I'm in this.
I went back and watched episode 4 with my friend who's never seen the original trilogy. And I felt like I was finding myself apologizing for certain stuff in it because at the end of the day, it's a fun movie. And the stop motion and everything that they did for space and all that stuff, but the acting isn't that good in the original one. And I feel like when I went in to watch episode 8, I was like, all right, let's see a Star Wars movie. And then I got out and I was like, so I saw a Star Wars movie, but I didn't like it. And I don't know, it just felt weird where I was just like, because I don't think, like, people are saying, like, episode 8 changed a lot and all that stuff. And I was like, no, I got a Star Wars movie, and I just didn't like feel the same magic.
That's how I felt. Like, everyone likes to point fingers, and it's like they blame you for not liking
people are like, to me, it just blows my mind how much Episode 8 like exploded into like the civil war with Star Wars.
It's because of social media. If you take away Twitter,
that doesn't happen.
Everyone's just kind of like, oh, whatever. It was. I didn't really like it, but there's no petitions. There's none of that. Social media is just like it's literally gasoline on the fire.
And people they put words in your mouth about. I mean, if anyone says I don't like Star Wars Episode 8, or even if they're just like, it's okay, then they assume they put words into your mouth about why you don't like it,
and vice versa. Where if people like it, like. People just call him a Star Wars fanboy, and you're you're forgiving all this bad stuff in it. And
I would say that I liked Episode 8. I think that there's a lot of things wrong with it, but when I left, I was like, hey, yeah, I'm excited. I was excited for Episode 9.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And there's that's what I mean is people should just be able to have a conversation about the movie. And if someone says, I don't like it, and then someone else says, I like it, then you shake their hand and you go, okay, we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Well, the thing is,
I shouldn't be like,
I completely understand why people wouldn't like it.
Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
But I like it. Like, I enjoyed it. I can't help how I feel when I'm sitting down and watching a movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. People love to cry, and they have a platform. They have their own.
On both sides, they love to cry.
Because that's what I mean. I use social media a shit ton, but what it's done is this is branching off into other stuff, but it's just given everyone a platform that they just stand tall on, and they're like, agree with me or don't. I'll unfriend you.
Yep. I don't know. Because I just walked out of it like meh. And I talked to some other people that were watching the movies with it, and then they're like gushing about it, and they say, "Hey Nate, how do you feel about it?" I was like, "Meh," and then they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's to me, it's less about for a movie like that. It's less about everything that's in it, more about how I feel afterwards. In the sense that when I walked out of it, I didn't have any excitement for Episode 9. Like after this, I was like, I don't really care what happens. Like whatever. But when I walked out of
see it, though.
Infinity War, I couldn't wait. I can't wait to see the next one. That's the difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I just they're both directed very well. Like it's not like they're technically terrible. It's just visually I didn't have the excitement for it.
I think Episode 8's the best looking Star Wars movie that
I could agree with. There's some phenomenal looking shots.
I think Han Solo looked phenomenal.
Well, that's Bradford Young fanboy.
Well, here we go.
Still haven't seen that.
Here we go though. Let me just say one thing.
You're not missing much.
I'm excited for Episode 9 to kind of finish off this storyline. Just kind of it's over, because that's the thing that's keeping me going, is like this is the end. It's almost like the last season of Game of Thrones. I'm not comparing the quality, but I'm comparing the bookmark ending.
Sure. Yeah.
And then that will give me even more excitement once Episode 9's done, because then we're gonna get all these new stories, because it's a huge ass universe,
and we're stuck dealing with the Skywalker family and all these characters that we already know, or events that we already know.
Yeah, I could go watch the Clone Wars if I want to, but I'm talking movie theater type stuff.
And well, the Clone Wars still deals with the people that we already know.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Oh, because wait,
I like J.J. Abrams stuff, so that's why I'm interested to see the new one.
Tell me if
I like what he
best
makes.
movie Mission
Tell me
Impossible
if I'm
3.
just making this up in my
probably honestly like I don't know if
tell me if I'm making this up in my head. Didn't the Game of Thrones directors Star Wars?
Yep, they're gonna make a Star Wars show.
I thought they were making movies.
Is that what it was?
And I thought Jon Favreau was making a show.
Oh,
that's what I thought. Yeah,
it's just to me, it's just too much Star Wars. Like I'm burnt out already.
It's like Marvel, dude.
Well, are you gonna say that about Game of Thrones though when they start branching off, or
no? Because
that's
it's
totally different.
One Game of Thrones ends. Another Game of Thrones is like a straight line. Star Wars is like a web, where it's like there's just 15. Because look at like Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, meh.
Right.
Infinity War, great.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther,
meh.
good. So what happens is like now you're gonna start getting where it's like sure they'll just grab everything and throw to the wall and then see what sticks, but like I'm not for that style of. I'd rather have, because look at Infinity War took a full year of post-production and all this stuff where it's like you can tell a lot of hard work went into this, and I mean $1 billion budget helps too, but like the quality is there. Where Ant-Man and the Wasp, you can tell they're like, let's do another Ant-Man, and then they just threw it together, Where I feel like when you get these franchise movies, there's a lot of, I don't know, they're just, I'm getting burnt out on
fatigue.
Marvel, I'm getting burnt out on.
That's the problem with running a business as far as making content as well.
I'm interested to see the new Spider-Man movie just because I'm a Spider-Man fan, and I'm interested to see Avengers 4, Captain Marvel. Sure, it might be fun.
At the end of the day,
I don't care. I don't know if I would care about anything. I'll be interested to see Fantastic Four and X-Men if they do.
At the end of the day, these studios are going to go where they're smart with the money.
I understand.
And I don't think we're ever going to escape this. Ant-Man and the Wasp type thing.
No, we will. No, I think we will eventually because I think most people, not most people, a lot of people are starting to feel the fatigue. My dad used to love going to the Marvel movies with me. We went and saw almost everyone growing up, from the time I was 11 to 16, 17. Now he doesn't care. I tell him I'm going to go see Ant-Man. He's like, huh?
Yeah. What? Well, get this. After this, there'll just be another trend. It's just like
that's what I'm saying. But a new trend will be fresh
because it'll
turn into it exactly. And Harry Potter, Hunger Games, which 2 good franchises. Then you have The Darkest Mind. You have all this other young adult stuff. It died off pretty quickly because there were so many shitty ones.
You got the Divergent or whatever, which is a disaster.
They didn't even complete the
Maze
movies.
Runner was just like.
It was all right. It was literally middle of the road.
I thought the first one was okay. Never saw any of the others.
I saw the other
Maze Runner was. I feel what was interesting about Maze Runner is even though it was a young adult franchise, it was the same director throughout all of them, and he got to complete his trilogy, his take on the books and everything.
That's cool.
But then you start getting I feel like Maze Runner was a sign that the young adult, because what happens is you get a good one, not the best, not the worst, and it just does okay. And then you get Divergent when they got to put the last one on TV. And that's when you know it's dead.
Yeah. That didn't even happen, did it?
No, Shailene Woodley's like, I don't want to do one for TV. I was in it for the movies. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I felt like I had something, but Nick's rushing it along. So.
Wait, how?
The next thing is...
how do we even get on that point?
What do we start with?
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
So we stayed on topic for a good some Disney. Ari Aster's new film casted some more people. It's about
who's in it?
Will Poulter, eyebrow guy.
Yeah.
You got the brother from Sing Street, who was pretty good in Sing Street.
Yep.
But he's also in the Kin movie.
He's also in Transformers 4.
Was he the boyfriend or was he?
Yeah, Jack Rayner. Yeah. That's his name, isn't it? He's really good, except in Transformers 4 when he's raping someone. Good. Yikes! And they justify it in the movie for some reason. But he's fantastic.
That's Michael
in
Bay
Sing
talking
Street.
to the audience.
He's really great in Free Fire, which I know Nick didn't like, but I love Free Fire.
It was a waste of time.
Okay, I loved it. Anyway, that's awesome. And sign me up, Ari Aster, best young director in Hollywood that's not named Damien Chazelle.
Pagan cult film again. Round 2.
Let's go.
I'm in. Arnold started filming on the new Terminator movie.
Wait, and Arnold's in it?
And they released a new photo, yeah.
Arnold's in it again? Okay, what what gives me hope, Linda Hamilton's back.
You're an Arnold fanboy.
Have you guys seen Terminator 1 or 2?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Fantastic movies.
Terminator 2 is better.
I like them both pretty much the same.
Is better.
Go kill yourself.
Genesis.
Terminator Genesis, I remember seeing it in theaters, and my dad and uncle went with me. And when it ended, I looked at him, and I was just depressed. It was so bad. And they said, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
And it made you even more depressed.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You hit the big sad.
They don't. It's one of those things where it's like
sad boy hours.
I don't know. Old people don't understand what shitty movies are. Fight me on that.
I don't know, because the funny thing is
what's his name?
Hold on. The funny thing is during Oscar season, when let's say me and my girlfriend go see movies, the only people that are in there with me are old
really
people.
old.
I was going to talk about it. That's when you know it's going to be a good one because we sat down.
Yep.
The best 8th time grade? To see
and
Oscar
I love
movies
it, and
is early in the morning.
And I absolutely love it because they just stay quiet.
Yep.
They watch the movie. They get up and they leave.
There were some old people talking in our showing of 8th grade today. Not a whole lot, but it's one of those things where it's like you think they're trying to whisper and they're just shouting in their.
I'm thinking movies more like The Revenant and Phantom Thread. Movies
Birdman.
like that, like everyone just goes in there and there's just dead whisper.
It was crazy because it was like we walk in, it's like 120 something, and then the rest of the crowd is old people, old couples just come to. They hear early festival buzz, Oscar buzz about a movie, and they go and watch it. Oscar season, prime movie watching season is when you just go and sit down and you just watch a movie with a bunch of old people. Love it.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. You know,
all right, Arnold's in it. Is who's directing this one? Does anyone know?
Ari Aster.
Does anyone care? Ari Aster's directing it.
I don't know who's directing. I'll look it up. What's it called?
I don't know.
Is there a title yet?
Terminator.
Genesis 2.
I think it's just called Terminator. The Terminator, like the Predator.
Are you looking it up, Nick?
No, he's on Facebook.
You're such a bastard.
I got a notification.
Is the new one going to show up here? 2019. Tim Miller. What is Tim Miller? Is he Deadpool?
Oh, interesting.
Okay. I just hope it's way more serious than Deadpool, I guess. But I mean, I'm sure he's.
I think they probably cast him based on the action scenes.
Yeah.
Just like how one of them went off. What movie did he get? He got a movie recently too. The guy that directed Deadpool.
Well, I just told you he directed.
No,
Deadpool.
there's two people that directed Deadpool. Oh no, I'm thinking of John Wick. Two people directed John Wick. One of them did Atomic Blonde, and the other one did John Wick. Oh, he did Deadpool too.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
That's what yeah, you're right. Deadpool 2 is okay. Next.
Johan Johansson, posthumous or posthumous, however you say that word. Mandy score.
I didn't think I could get more excited to go see Mandy. And then once Nate told me that Johan Johansson's last score, unused score, is being used for
we
Mandy.
don't even know that, though. There could be more.
There could be more out in the wild, but
that's insane.
I think it said last. Like,
that's insane.
Awesome.
It's literally incredible.
The movie's going to be batshit crazy.
The movie's going to slap.
It's going to clap.
This movie's going to fuck.
Yeah, I bet.
I cannot wait to see Mandy. Sorry.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know how. I think it looks awesome. But, like, one of the lines, I'm just excited to see Nick Cage be Nick Cage.
What do you mean?
Like,
pure evil.
I think that's great.
I think out of context, because you know how trailers are edited together.
Yeah.
So it could play differently, and he could say things before and after that line. But the way it's put in the trailer, because it's one of the only lines of dialogue in the whole trailer, isn't it? It's bizarre.
I think it's great. I don't know how
the
you
cult leader that's like, give me her.
Yeah.
And then
That's
evil.
that's what the whole movie's about.
I get it.
It's great.
No.
I think you guys are objectively wrong.
What is happening? I don't know why. It's not like we hate the movie.
I don't think anybody's more excited for it than me. And
That's
you're telling
wrong.
me I hate it.
Don't touch me ever. Oh,
Okay. Next up, Willem Dafoe.
I'm in.
Willem Dafoe Van Gogh.
After the Florida Project, I'll see anything he's in ever.
Antichrist.
What about when he played Green Goblin?
Gabby Jr.
Great performance. He didn't.
Willem
care,
Dafoe
man.
is really good in every movie I've ever seen him in. He's
Yep.
one of those, like, if
Grand
he's
Budapest.
in it. Yeah, he's awesome in Grand Budapest. He's a really talented actor. So, that's right. They released a picture.
And he's like double the age that Van Gogh was when he died.
I wonder
really?
So it's
I wonder
weird,
if they'll
but-
include the gonorrhea stuff, because Van Gogh would go to the brothels every 15 days.
And then he went and got gonorrhea.
Couple bouts of it.
All right, it should be good.
I wonder if they'll include that.
It should look good too.
Oh yeah.
Who's
It
it
look
shot
bet-
by?
I don't know, but it better look like the paintings.
Loving Vincent.
No, not like the actual like paint, like brush
Color
strokes,
style,
but like
I know.
in the framing.
All right, Rebecca Ferguson cast as a female lead in Men in Black.
Didn't we cover that last week?
Nope, we cast. It was
We
someone,
didn't cast her.
It was someone from the previous Men in Black movies, and then she's also gonna play the villain in the Shining sequel, Doctor Sleep.
With Ewan McGregor.
Ewan.
It's
With
weird.
Christopher Robin himself.
With Obi.
I think Rebecca Ferguson is great, but she's like an actress I wish wasn't getting cast in these big blockbusters. I'd rather see her in a smaller, dramatic role because she's so good and talented in the Mission Impossible movies, and that's her big franchise already. I don't care to see her in another big franchise. I want to see her do something with some more gravitas.
Yeah, I agree, but I like her, and I'll see her in it. So I think she'll do a good job.
She's pretty attractive.
I'd say, yeah, she is a good-looking woman.
But one note on Dr. Sleep. Who cares about that movie? Is anybody excited for
It's
it?
based on a novel.
I know it's based on a Stephen King novel, but the reason The Shining is so great is because it's not a direct adaptation of his book. It takes a lot of liberties, and this is going to be...
Who's directing it, too? Can you look that
Oh,
up?
I think
'Cause
Stanley
feel
Kubrick is, yeah.
Post however say that freaking word.
That's what I mean. Like, I have absolutely no excitement for Dr. Sleep whatsoever.
Do you want me to be honest with you?
Sure.
I think you're a head ass.
Okay.
I think you think The Shining is one of the greatest movies ever made.
It
I
is.
think, why are they making a sequel to the greatest movie
So
ever made?
Mike Flanagan's directing it, and Mike Flanagan did
The Guest.
He did The Guest, which I love, but I think didn't he do some that I don't like?
He did Death Note.
Is that the
Hush? I think no, he did not do The Guest. The Guest is the other guy.
There you go.
He did Ouija.
He did Ouija Origin Reveal, which I've heard is good, but I had not seen it. He did Oculus, which I think sucks. Super overrated. Some people really like it. I thought it was bad.
Loves it.
I thought it was bad.
That's when I stopped watching.
I didn't like it.
He did Hush.
I love Hush. I think that's
Hush was good. I thought it did not
concept.
utilize the fact that she was deaf at all. Didn't think it was good. My opinion.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm being
He
serious.
was right behind her like half the movie.
Yeah, whatever.
Hello?
I just don't think it was.
What else did he do? He did the movie for Netflix that
Gerald's
people loved.
Game, which people said is good. I have not watched that. And Before I Wake, which I know is a really shitty horror movie.
Toilet water. But maybe they chosen based on the Stephen King Gerald's Game.
Who did The Guest? Because that's one of my. Have you seen The Guest?
Yeah, it was the guy that crowdfunded his first movie and then he blew up.
Adam Wingard.
Wingard.
Yeah.
He did Death
Isn't he
Note.
doing Halloween? No, he's not doing the new Halloween. He was attached. He did the Blair Witch movie. That's right. All right, Blair Witch, a new one. I thought it was pretty good, better than the original. Unpopular opinion, I don't care. Adam Wingard did?
Yeah.
I heard Death
still
Note
need to
sucked.
watch it.
Didn't watch it.
I need to watch it. Willem Dafoe.
There's his bad. That's why we skipped that one.
Yeah, step up to the plate.
All of his roles are good because we skip his shitty movies.
What does this say?
I heard he was good. Sonic the Hedgehog.
There's a movie?
Yeah, first picture
Photo?
released. And
Animated?
It's animated CG plus live action.
What?
Where
it's one of those.
The image is a cop car, right? And there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Green Hill." Like Green Hill Zone, the first world in Sonic.
I think that's stupid. They should have just went full animated.
Someone was cast in it too.
Oh, is
like
the
a big
evil
name.
guy? Yeah.
Eggman?
No, it's not Eggman. It's Dr. Egg, isn't it? No.
Where's the picture for it? I can't. Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is that the egg dude? Is that Eggman?
Who else is in it though? Because I feel like there's someone plays the cop or whatever.
Why can't I find the image for it on Google?
Go to Reddit, dude. Reddit has everything. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go see. I'll be in the theater. I'll watch it.
What if it's just like they said that CG, but they just legit have like a blue hedgehog? It's like the cop's pet,
and the hedgehog is like life size, so it's just a little hedgehog.
And he doesn't talk either. It's like the cop is like crazy. That's the only way to do it.
And every time the hedgehog runs, it plays to me.
And it uses just the classic Minecraft movie delayed.
Good.
Cancel.
Who cares?
Rob, how do you say his last name? McElhenney, out of it.
For sure.
Always Sunny guy, done. He said, I'm not directing it.
Good.
That's all I know about it. Who cares?
I don't care about Minecraft.
You know why it's delayed?
Because they don't have a story.
Yeah. Suspiria, 2 hours, 32 minutes.
Horror movie epic. Sign me the fuck up. It's going to be, I think it'll be incredible. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
Do you think pacing will be a problem? That's what people are worried about.
What? I don't understand why people have, they hear a movie's long, so they assume the pace is bad. Like, why? There's a billion long movies.
I want to see the movie. I want to see a movie that the director intended it to be.
Exactly. I 100% agree with you. And
I don't care if the pacing shit, that's on the director. It's the auteur theory, baby. Guess what? I want to see the movie that everyone worked on it intended it to look like, feel like, and be presented like. Okay?
Good point, Nick.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jungle Cruise now in production.
What?
The Rock, Emily Blunt, based on the ride, and Disney.
Based on the ride?
I'm out.
I don't
care. And for that reason,
why is that
I'm
movie
out.
being made?
Because The Rock will make money.
Give me money to make a movie.
Disney is on the name. He's wearing another safari suit like Jumanji.
$1
and
billion,
$1
baby.
billion.
Did they announce Jumanji 3? Is that happening?
Yeah.
This isn't related to Jumanji, though.
No.
Or Journey to the...
Nope.
It's not like Journey on a cruise.
Nope, it's Jungle Cruise.
Okay, I don't care. Tom Cruise should be in it next.
Us started production. The Jordan Peele's next movie.
Yeah, let's go.
Is going to be exciting. Is it a horror film? Like Get Out?
I don't know anything about.
No.
I just know Lupita Nyong'o's in it.
Sold.
And the I forgot what his name is. He's the guy in Black Panther, like that is.
Oh, T'Challa or not T'Challa? The
same guy from Get Out?
What's it? No.
No. The guy.
The Rip dude. Buff.
Shredded is like his animal is like the ape, and then they live up in the cold mountains and they don't adapt to
the big guy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I wouldn't call
Winston
him
Duke. That's his actor name.
Wait, just real quick. Nick, what's your opinion on Lupita Nyong'o?
Oh, she's beautiful. Best skin routine in history.
No, I think like something's weird about her, or like she's almost looks like angelic in a way, and I feel like she may be too nice of a person, and that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Lovely words, guys.
But yeah, I'm excited to good actors. Yeah. Jordan Peele's behind it again. Poster looked cool. It looked intriguing. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Get Out, one of my favorite
Academy
movies.
Award winning.
Get Out gets better
Peele.
every time I watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what he does next.
I agree.
And I love his line, it should have been nominated for a documentary.
Yeah.
That's a great,
instead of comedy.
Yikes.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I just say one thing, too? That's because the Golden Globes have the dumbest genre breakdown in history.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon get the Monopoly. Now, people are stupid because IGN, and this is just clickbait at its finest, I feel. IGN posted, news story, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon to make Monopoly movie. So then people respond saying, Hollywood's dead. Why are they making a Monopoly movie? They already made Battleship and it blah. It's about him, a cop that rigged the
McDonald's Monopoly game and won millions of dollars. Yeah. I think it'll be hilarious. I think that they both know what they're doing when they're working together.
You would imagine if Ben Affleck and Matt Damon got together to write a script, they had an idea together, like we can make a good movie about this. That's what they're doing. It's not
it'll
like
probably be hilarious.
Good Will Hunting, guys.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm interested to see, if they'll take a funny, like that's just kind of I mean, obviously it's terrible that he did it, but like
it's not terrible. It's not like people.
From a telescope, it's funny.
I know it's not like people died. It's a movie where you can have fun with it and be like
exactly. But cool. I wonder if they'll what if they took a serious route on it?
That'll be interesting.
I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it'll be a drama
story.
comedy, so it'll be like funny, but also serious.
It's a freaking cop that rigged the McDonald's Monopoly game.
Hey, good for him.
Good. Hey, way to play the system. That game sucks.
Way to go.
Yeah.
All right, that's all for news. Unless you guys have any other things that you wanted to talk about that were new in the movie world.
Are we moving on to trailers?
Yeah, trailers time.
Okay, yeah, let's talk some trailers.
I'm gonna save Venom for last. But first up, If Beale Street Could Talk, Barry Jenkins' new movie.
I think it looks good.
There's a trailer out?
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, boo! It keeps
looks
the
good.
dreamlike, ethereal.
Is it coming out this year?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is it gonna win a bunch of Oscars? Probably.
I don't know. I'm gonna say I heard early buzz is mixed.
Really?
But the trailer looked good.
Yeah.
So
looks
Has
beautiful.
it premiered at film festival?
It premiered at one so far.
Looks like a heavy story.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's based off
a book.
James Baldwin's book. It was his birthday a couple days ago.
I don't know if I recognized any of the actors or actresses in it either.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
though.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
The only person I recognized in Moonlight was
Trevante Rhodes.
No, because he wasn't big until.
I
recognized
Mahershala.
three people.
Yeah.
Because
Mahershala.
The mom
Janelle Monáe.
Which one's Janelle Monáe?
Mahershala.
Mahershala's
girlfriend.
Yeah, and his mom is.
What's her name? Because
Penny.
No.
I feel so
from
bad
James Bond. It's.
I know. I feel so
Money
bad
Penny.
because she.
No.
Okay, dude. I know it's the James Bond.
I couldn't think of her name. What's her real name?
No.
She's great, and I feel bad because
this is stupid.
she's so good that I forgot her name.
I'll go look.
She's probably listening to this.
I know. I'm so sorry. I'm a big fan.
No, you're not.
You were great in Moonlight.
Yeah.
Naomi Harris.
Harris. Yep. There it is. Had a bad movie this year. I'm gonna just come out and say it.
Which one?
Rampage. Good job cashing that check though. All right, let's move on. Never Going Back. A24 movie, like a coming of age.
Looks all right.
About teenage girls that.
Is Hot Summer?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. Is Hot Summer Nights? Is that A24?
Yep. And it released, and I don't think
it came out.
Yeah, and I think people are just like,
what about Beautiful Boy?
Not yet. I think Never Going Back looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited to see it. Honestly.
Yeah. I'll go. I'm gonna go see it.
I think the two actresses
have good chemistry together.
I think it looks like it could be a really fun hour and a half.
Maybe romp. Touching. Maybe like it could hit on a deeper note, deeper message.
Kind of similar to 8th Grade.
I haven't seen it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get there.
Next up is Lizzie, which
movie
looks great.
Looks crazy.
Kristen Stewart, I'm going to say it. She's a good actress. She really is.
Yeah, I like her too. But she's definitely, you like her or you hate her.
Yeah. Hey, wait. Ready for me to be a pompous ass? Did not like the font that they used.
I agree. I didn't like it, but it doesn't matter.
The font that they
but I don't think that matters about the content.
Can I ask you guys
movie.
a question?
No.
Why do you guys care so much about me? Leave me alone.
I don't like the font that you used.
I think Lizzie looks like
design. Design is a
agree.
huge thing. I mean, people may recognize it or they may not. But guess what? You got to put some thought into it.
How do you feel about the favorite trailer where "the" is like spaced out super
that
far?
Looks cool.
And then favorite is like
even when it comes up and it's like from the director of the Lobster, the way it's
this song that sounds about right.
That is a fantastic trailer. Even though because it gives no plot away whatsoever.
Everything's like wide. Did you notice that, Nick? Everything's like wide lens.
Yeah, fish eye stuff. I think it looks excellent. But Lizzie, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Great.
I think it looks frightening. I think the performances look excellent, and I cannot wait to see
it. I think it could have if it comes out this year?
September.
Okay. I think it like based on the intensity of the movie, I feel like it could have one of the better climaxes of the year too if they pull it off right.
It looks good. I cannot wait to see it.
Let's see, you know.
I wonder who's directing it. Oh well. King of Thieves.
Looks all right.
Looks fun.
Yeah, it looks like a movie that I have absolutely no excitement for, but when I go see it at the theater, it looks like it'll be a decent time.
I have a solid
fun
time.
old guys.
I like bank heist stuff, so
yeah, absolutely.
Puppet Master.
Stupid.
The Littlest Reich.
So
Stupid.
I've actually seen the original, and when I was a little kid, there's a scene where the main puppet guy, I believe it's the main one from this trailer, forces a guy to eat slugs or something weird, and it made me throw up when I was a kid.
Did it actually make you throw up?
Yeah, I threw up.
What did you eat that day?
Why would I remember that?
I
just remember throwing up.
I don't know. It looks bizarre. It
stupid.
Looks,
You're right. Yeah, it looks stupid.
But it's stupid in a.
But fun.
But how come they get money to make that stuff?
Because it's really self-aware. Like the movie knows exactly what it is. It's a self-aware Nazi doll killing, and they go super over the top with it to the point where it could be fun.
That's the only way you can when you have puppets killing people. Sure. Venom.
Whatever. Very disappointed. Good cast. Complete letdown as far as what I had intentions.
We haven't seen the movie yet.
No, we did. I got a press screening because of our podcast.
Nothing.
What? Well, they're looking at Letterboxd.
Lizzie, the director. Nothing too big.
Venom's gonna fucking suck. If you watch that trailer and you think it looks good, you're wrong. It looks awful. Everything about that movie looks terrible. The dialogue looks awful. Venom is incomprehensible.
That's the worst part. I feel like the look of the movie is fine. I feel like Tom Hardy is a better cast as Eddie Brock than
Topher
Grace. I feel like Riz Ahmed, great actor, maybe miscast here. We'll see. I'm not getting the sinister vibe from him. What else was I going to say?
He's got sad eyes, you know.
Yeah.
No, do you agree? I don't think you can look menacing when you got those big
so
sad eyes.
All the time. The dialogue is my biggest complaint with the whole thing. I feel like the look is fine. Besides the motorcycle stuff, which I think looks cheesy, like I feel like they capture like how Venom moves, like when he was crawling on the stuff, how he's big and hulking.
Yeah, I like the huge stuff.
The dialogue just sounds so bad to me that I just can't get over it.
The jokes are awful. I don't care if they were in the comic books or not. They don't play well on the big screen.
I think
they
it's
suck.
because it's bad jokes.
Yeah,
that's the big thing to me is like make a good joke, and it's not like Venom would tell jokes.
But what's a good joke?
It was almost like no. Listen, it's not like Venom would tell jokes. Like he's not childish. Like the turd line is just childish, and it's
bizarre.
But you know what the sad thing is?
Like a turd.
We're gonna go see it probably on opening night. It'll be a full theater, and I guarantee you, 80% of the crowd laughs. That's the thing.
I bet they applaud at the end too. When we're looking at each other,
I will too. If all of a sudden Tom Holland shows up. And then he's Spider-Man.
He will. I guarantee he'll have some sort of cameo.
He will.
He has to.
He won't.
Because they have to tie it together.
They
right?
won't.
No?
I think what they're going to do is they're going to have
cause
Silk be the main hero of this Sony universe.
I think what they're going to do is cancel it after this movie comes out because it's going to be at 25% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's going to bomb and nobody cares about it anymore.
I feel like it's low enough budget where it will make its money back.
What's the budget on it? 50,
I don't know. It can't
60?
be too big. I think it's rated R2, so it can't be.
If it's rated PG-13, it makes it way worse. If it's R, I think there could be some hope just because at least that probably means it's a little bit grittier than the trailer makes it look.
And I mean, Venom's a dark character, so kind of.
With those effects and that cast, it's got to be over 100, right?
I was going to I would assume it'd be about 100.
I'm gonna guess 60 mil. Is my guess.
Let's see. I'll look it up right now. We got. Where do I look on Wikipedia for that?
I don't know, dude. I don't even know if you can check until the movie comes out,
No,
dude.
I think they got it in here. Whoa. People are. It's not out yet, but people are estimating it's only around 50, which they said
that.
They said it would be the most efficient AAA Marvel property of all time.
I bet it makes its money back.
That's cool to hear that it's not blown out of proportion. But
I think they nailed how Venom looks. Besides, there's no white spider on his chest. At least the face. The face looks like.
I think the face looks good. I don't like the way the lips kind of move when he talks.
No,
it's almost
I like it. It's unsettling, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Maybe it's all going to play different when you sit down in the theater and you watch the whole movie. You know, special effects are finished. Nothing's out of context like the trailer, but to me, the trailer was really bad. So my anticipation level is pretty low.
I don't like how he peels back the mask and shows like half Tom Hardy face, and that's when he says, "We are Venom." I like it better when Eddie Brock is in the Venom, like he is Venom at that point, and he's just like fully taken over by him. I like that, and maybe at the end, because eventually Eddie Brock gets control of it, and he can do like he has his own will. But at the start, he's like kind of like how Spider-Man was in. Spider-Man 3 did a decent job of like showing how the suit controls your emotions
when
and
he gets his
up
suit
all your stuff.
In Spider-Man 3 is excellent.
Yep.
Yeah,
deal with it.
But like it just heightens up all your emotions, whether they're good or bad, and all of your traits. And I feel like Eddie Brock is strong. He's very, open-minded, and he's like, will do anything to do good. But do anything to do good means he's going to kill these people, and he's going to cause destruction if it
he's
means
going to eat a gas station worker.
That's not a worker. That's
that
a
was
robber.
a joke.
He's gonna. I heard that they showed footage at San Diego Comic-Con
that he bit his head off.
Bit his head off and said "yum."
That's stupid.
But that's it's very Venom. But I see that's one of the things. Then
who the hell wrote Venom?
I don't think we'll transition well.
That's what I mean. Like everybody, for some reason, people think that to get a comic book movie right, it has to be as accurate to the comic as possible. And I disagree. The best comic book movies are the ones that
The Dark Knight, like that's just like a real life
the original
adaptation.
Spider-Man trilogy, one at least the first two, they're not super close to the source material.
I still think the best part about that, and what I feel like is good about adapting a lot of things, is you just got to find the core of the character and adapt that. Where it's like Spider-Man 2 comes the closest I've seen to capturing why Spider-Man is such a interesting superhero, where it's you have his two lives competing with each other.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about Spider-Man. That's why I was kind of nervous that they would like reveal his secret identity and everything to like and try a different take on Spider-Man, where I like when he's by himself. That's one of the things why I think 1 and 2 is better than Homecoming, is because I like it better when Spider-Man is on his own and he's got to try to do this by himself, and he still wants to because he's a good person, and like he uses his own ability to save the day. But then he goes home and he notices that he has to still pay rent and he doesn't have enough money for that. But if people just knew that he was Spider-Man, everything would change in his life. But he doesn't want that because it might bring harm to more people.
Right.
Spider-Man's the best superhero ever. But I don't know. I feel like you just got to find what makes the character and adapt it that way. And like real quick, Speed Racer, perfect adaptation of what it was. People didn't like it because sometimes you just got to adapt something for film instead of trying to copy exactly what came before.
That's why video game movies don't work, is because for some reason they think they need to make it exactly like the game, which isn't how it should work, but whatever.
Okay, that's it for the trailers. Let's talk about what we watched this week.
So to start it off, we all rewatched Whiplash.
Perfect.
Whiplash is my favorite movie. I think everything about it is perfect. All
amazing.
the performances are great. I saw it in the theaters right when it came out. When I walked out of the theater, I said J.K. Simmons is winning Best Supporting Actor, and this movie is going to win Best Picture. And then for some reason, Birdman won. That's a joke.
Birdman's great, though.
Birdman is really good, but Whiplash is better. I
agree with that.
I think Whiplash is better because Birdman's about art, and it's about how artists, feel towards critics and what it means to them to make something and how it can affect their lives and stuff. But Whiplash is about everyone. It's about what does it take to be great, and it asks questions about
is it worth it?
Is it worth it? That's my favorite. Is it worth it being great? And the final sequence, the whole drum solo, and we're gonna spoil the movie because if you haven't seen Whiplash, I don't care. But when he looks at him,
let's just go. Hold on.
And J.K. Simmons looks back, and
spoiler alert.
You can't see his nose, you can't see his lips. All you see is his eyes, and you know exactly what his entire face looked like just because of his eyes. It's brilliant.
Black. I'm like, what did I just watch, dude? What a great ending. It's like 10 minutes. It's like 15 minutes from when he shows up at the concert hall or whatever. Yep. It's like perfect.
It's a triumph.
Yeah.
It's cinematic gold.
The big words on the poster, triumph.
It's a movie
it is.
It changed my perspective on filmmaking. Like,
and everyone has one of those.
Yeah, it really did. It's my favorite movie ever, and I'm glad we got to watch it together, and we got to watch it with someone who had never seen it before, who also loved it. But he didn't say it was the best movie ever, so he's an idiot.
It's great.
I will not say that it's the best movie ever, but I will say, and this is what I feel like is interesting, and what I find interesting about talking with like people our age and stuff like that is because everyone has their era that they love movies from, and I respect that. Like, people will look down on this but love old movies. People will love like 90s and like the Scorsese, like the 80s, 90s and stuff like that, but they won't really care for the other movies. What I wanted to kind of capture with this podcast is kind of like this generation of movie watchers that found appreciation from like a modern movie and then went back and started looking at all these other movies. Because when I think of a perfect when someone asks what's a perfect movie, not your favorite movie, I just think of Whiplash, because I don't think there's anything wrong with that movie. Like, I don't think he could have done anything better for what he tried to accomplish. And like, people will think like Citizen Kane and Casablanca and all that stuff, but because I'm younger and because I've experienced more movies from this era, it just goes to Whiplash. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think Whiplash is
I think
people will agree
they'll study that in about 20 years.
Modern movies get unfairly
pushed to the back. They get pushed to the back
because they're modern. So when arguments or talks come up about what are the best movies, it's always older stuff. It'll never be what we're seeing right now, even if it should be or if it is deserved. It doesn't matter, because people are always just going to go back to the old stuff because it came first.
Yeah,
and it's always going to be the way. People have the same argument about everything.
This is why movies are good, is because of this movie.
Yeah,
and
literally everything in life. Yep, everything.
And part of the problem is the people who are American Film Institute that has the top 100 movies ever made. Everybody that's a part of that is old. They saw a lot of those movies in theaters when they were our age. They lived through having the opportunity to see it, and I can't imagine like going and seeing Taxi Driver in theater or Jaws, something like that, and it's like, this is incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're never going to have those same experiences and those same reactions to those movies, because watching it at home is not the same. And we've seen so much
subjective, is because it's gonna, based on what you're feeling at the time, based on the time period, all that stuff plays into how you feel.
If you're in your prime, if you're in the prime of your life, baby, you want to relive those moments forever.
And it's like all that stuff plays into how you feel when you sit down and watch that movie.
It's gonna hit you from all around. 360 degrees goes into your appreciation for a movie. It could be like the weather of that day. I don't even care. It's everything.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on people that are going through film school now or like movies now to, when they go back and watch those movies, to say yes, they're good. And to me, I don't kind of feel that. If a movie is good to me, it's good. Because I watched North by Northwest, and I went into it thinking like, this is just one of those movies that people say is good just because it's like, but that movie was great.
No, a lot of Hitchcock stuff that I've seen, I actually really
And here's the thing. Me and Tyler took an international film history course, and there was a movie, I believe it was directed by Truffaut, called Rules of the Game, and we both hated it. I don't get it. Like, yeah, I guess it was impressive for back then, but like that should not interfere with. But then we watched a movie by Vittorio De Sica, Bicycle Thieves, and it was literally an achievement in storytelling, not filmmaking. The idea that he could put that story to screen and have this powerful, moving story, that's something that I will recognize for me. But guess what? That's why it's subjective. Everyone feels differently about certain little pieces of art.
I agree.
I wish everybody could have seen what he just did.
I agree. Like, I feel
an
like
auditory podcast,
and that's why, like, a lot of people kind of say like, there's countless amounts of movie podcasts out there. There's but what I feel is interesting about this one right here And like just
dude, whatever.
And just talking about because like there's a lot of people that kind of go through film classes and stuff like that, and then they'll always talk about like older movies and that's okay because that's the type of era you kind of get attached to, and that's the movies that you like. But I don't feel like there's a lot of, I hate the term, but like millennials that like sit around and talk about movies. I'm not a millennial. You get the idea. That kind of get around and talk about movies and like they were inspired by Whiplash or like Inception or La La Land and like these movies that just like came out a couple years ago. Because like I'll say like, I don't know, 2013 around there is when I was like,
really got
there's something more to movies than just entertainment. And I don't know. Speaking of that, I watched a movie, back on topic, I watched a movie called The Wind Rises, which is Hayao Miyazaki, so far his last movie that he'll ever do. And man,
is it great?
Because I've only seen 2 now.
Did you like it more than
going back
Mononoke?
I don't know. Because they're different. Because Wind Rises, there's almost no fantastical elements to it. I mean, he has like these dreams and stuff, but it's almost like I'm so glad I'm finally going back and watching it because I'm like a huge animation fan, and that was a big gap in my like movies, and I'm excited to see all the movies that are coming to theaters, going and watching those. But I'm going back and watching the ones that I watched, like that won't be in theaters that I missed or whatever. And so I watched The Wind Rises because I was like,
where'd you watch it on? What platform?
Just the internet.
Really?
I couldn't rent it anywhere. Like I tried renting it, couldn't watch it anywhere.
That's annoying.
Yeah, that was stupid. And I went to Walmart when I was buying Blu-rays and stuff. Wasn't there either, but Howl's Moving Castle was. So I bought that. So I have that now.
Let's watch
it. Yep.
Did you watch English sub or dub?
Dub. So
Dub.
It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, John Krasinski, and Emily Blunt.
Excellent.
Were like
the Miyazaki movies have such an amazing voice cast.
Disney's the one that like
I haven't seen any of them.
Comes in, but like what I was gonna say real quick is that like Princess Mononoke was very fantastical, and so a lot of his movies are fantastical. But The Wind Rises like very, people say it's like his most real, and I wanted to see like the two ends of the spectrum, so I watched it, and it's very slow. I will say that, and that's one of my main gripes is like at the beginning of the second act, it almost like lost me a little bit, but it's so slow, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it, where like people would not like this movie in comparison to like a lot of other movies because it's kind of like epic in a way. I don't want to say an epic, but like you're watching this guy's life, and by the end of it, it was kind of ruined by Nick. Not to his, like he didn't do it on purpose, but I was in the last like. I sat back and I watched this long movie. I was like watching it all, like invested in this guy's life, and the big payoff in the end. Nick just barges in, "Hey man, so what's going on?" And I couldn't pause it, and then the movie ended.
Really?
Yeah.
Ready for this?
How long?
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Was it as long
as over 2 hours?
Really?
Maybe 2
so
hours.
It's still pretty. It's a long ass movie.
But it was, and like I just said, like it's just a beautiful movie. It's very not Western. It's not Western at all, like in the way that it tells this story, but I loved it, and I can't wait to watch the other Miyazaki movies because I think he's
a genius.
There's a reason why people think that he's the best. Like he's like the like Alfred Hitchcock or like the Steven Spielberg or whatever of
animation.
Yeah, Eastern animation.
Get this. We also saw another animated feature, Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
I'll go first. I thought it was a great deconstruction of what the modern superhero movies are.
Yeah. I loved all the jokes that were...
The jokes are funny.
Next level, like, not next level, but like above...
like Batman
poop jokes and fart jokes.
Batman vs Superman 2, the joke they had in there, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was.
And like when it shows up and it has like...
His name is Thomas!
It has like the Superman with the mustache. And then like the biggest laugh I got was when they're like, we need to find... like an antagonist or what did they say? An arch nemesis. And then they're like going through like Batman has the Joker, Superman has Lex Luthor,
the Flash
has Rainbow Raider. And it's like, yeah, because Flash's villains suck. And it's like they can finally like, I don't know. It was funny how they pointed that stuff out, but then it lost me when it went back to like the kid jokes.
It was all right. Yeah, I'll just say it was all right.
But you can tell, like sometimes you can tell when it's like Because it knows its audience, and like a lot of flashy stuff, a lot of colors everywhere. Because kids, that's all kids care about. They don't care about these meta jokes. They just threw those in there because they know the parents saw Batman v Superman or Avengers. Marvel has some, like, they touch on Marvel in this one too.
They touch on everything.
That's
what I really liked about it, is that it wasn't afraid to just throw punches at everybody. But you're right. The worst part about the movie is that it still has to cater to kids somewhat, right? So it has the poop fart jokes that aren't funny. It has some bad dialogue and stuff. But to me, all the positives really outweighed that stuff, and I had a really good time watching it. I would recommend it to people who love or hate superhero movies. Watch this one,
because it's not a long movie.
Oh,
it's like
not
an hour and a half, so you can just watch it and then just laugh at the Superman jokes or whatever it has.
I didn't think it dragged ever either. It moves along well. All the the story beats. What I thought is the overall story was excellent. Like the idea that Robin wants his own movie. And that
no one wants to make a Robin movie, but they are going to make a Robin movie.
And he's trying so hard to get it, and they have to check off the certain boxes of what all superhero movies have to have. I thought it was really, really smart.
That's all I saw this week. I rewatched Whiplash. I saw Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Okay.
Kind of a busy week, but
I watched a couple more, and I know Nate watched The Babadook, and I'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, I just think, like, there was some stuff that I loved about The Babadook, and then other stuff that I was just like, okay. So it doesn't, like, get the perfect thing where I loved everything. I didn't think there was anything necessarily bad except for one thing, and Nick always gives me, like...
For what it was,
Have you seen it?
Oh, I've seen it like 5 times.
Really?
Did you really?
Yes, I've seen it
Why?
It's on Netflix, and like when my girlfriend was at college the first year, we'd throw it on, like when people would come into her dorm and stuff. And then I watched it a couple times. I just watched it. It's on Netflix. Sure. It's so easy to watch. And I think for what it is, what they were working with, and the whole premise it's great. I think it's a great horror movie. It's different. It picked up so much traction on Netflix because of memes and stuff like that. But I think it's a fine movie.
And I would say, I see like a lot of like the negatives about it. Like I know you're like lukewarm.
I'm lukewarm on it. Yeah.
Like I don't like some of the stuff. I hate using the term like you didn't get it. Like some people are like, I don't like how the like it's not necessarily spoilers. I'll try my best to hide away from what the ending is and stuff like that. But people are like, I don't like how the Babadook is like an actual thing, and they allude to it being an actual thing, and that's stupid. I was like, did you even watch
exactly? I interpreted it way differently. I'm not going to spoil it, but I interpreted this whole story as a mental struggle, a mental uphill battle.
Mm-hmm. And I think I don't want to spoil anything, but I think it happens every year around that time where you just deal with grief and depression and what that happens. And I like that, but then a lot of the stuff when the Babadook there was one scene that got me with the Babadook, and it's like the first when it's like on the wall or whatever, and it's like when it's like a real person or whatever. But everything else kind of was silly. But I think that might be because of all the memes and stuff that I got of him.
I was never scared. It's a horror movie, and I wasn't scared. And the performances are excellent. Mm-hmm. Who's the lead actress? I forgot her name.
I forgot, but she's in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she's outstanding.
Really? She played the actress Cersei.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Also, I just want to say, it's not a spoiler because there's no context for the people that are watching right now, but I just want to say the deeper theme of it that I interpreted was that you kind of have to feed in to your inner demons, your depression, all that stuff, because if you just pretend it's not there, that's when it comes to haunt you.
That's when it's the worst.
I guess maybe I should watch it again. Maybe I missed the point a little bit, but I just didn't like... My biggest negative, did not like the stock sound effect dinosaur dragon roar thing that they used for the Babadook that I heard in a million things before, and I hear it in short films that I have to watch in the college courses that I help.
All that aside, it is human to feel emotion, and I think the Babadook
it's like those are my favorite
was a literal translation. It was a literal translation of how humans
But I will
interpret.
say, Hereditary is
Hereditary
like next level Babadook, where it deals with themes.
And it's fucking horrifying.
I don't see it.
You don't think so?
Oh, it's a horror movie? There's deeper themes, but I don't think they're comparable.
They're both horror movies.
How can you not compare them? You can compare any
I think
two
it's
movies
dealing
ever.
with different things.
What I will say is that people are saying this thing, and I saw this too on Reddit, where like people are saying this is elevated horror. It follows Babadook, Hereditary. Why can't there just be good horror movies? Like why are
it's
people
not elevated?
scared?
A good horror movie or Truth or Dare is a bad horror movie. Hereditary is a good one.
I have fun watching these B-grade horror movies too, where it's not necessarily scary, but it's like fun to I don't know. I feel like critics are scared to say that they like a horror movie, and that's why they're giving it like this elevated horror movie thing, whatever.
I just think, like you said, to me, there's no movies are good or bad. It's not anybody can watch any movie and have an opinion about it, and you don't have to be smart to like certain movies. It's just if it's good enough, everybody will like it.
Yep. Real quick, Nick, if you want to, when we get to 8th grade, if you want to step out, if you don't want to hear anything.
Well, we won't spoil anything.
I know, but I don't know if Nick wants to know anything about it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Let me see
but real
what
quick,
else I watched.
Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Okay, so I did not see the first one, and so I have no.
So there's a hole in your argument.
Well, the thing is that we had a night that collapsed in on itself. We were supposed to see Christopher Robin.
Yeah, it got all messed up.
So it was a last minute going to see Mamma Mia.
But going in to see it, I was still excited for it because I had heard about all the good reviews it was getting, and I knew the first one didn't get good reviews, so I figured, well, this one must be. Huh?
It got mediocre reviews.
50 is it like roughly 50%, and this one's much higher. And my favorite movie critic gave it an outstanding review, so I was pretty excited to go in and watch this movie. And if I close my eyes and imagine what Mamma Mia 1 was like, this was exactly the same, and I did not like it at all. I didn't like the characters. I think Lily James is one of the most attractive girls I've ever seen in my entire life. And that was the only redeeming quality of the entire movie.
Can I be honest with you?
Meryl Streep will win Best Supporting Actress for her role in Mamma Mia.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
You have one of the biggest holes in an argument I've ever seen because you didn't see the first one.
No.
Now here comes me. In comes Nate from the heavens. Mamma Mia. I've watched it. I thought it was meh. I thought it was solid 50. I agree with the Rotten Tomatoes score on this one, which is like either a coin toss usually. But 50, I was like, sure. I thought the problems that I had with the first one, very thrown together story, choreography sucked in the dance scenes, very studioized music in it. Characters were fun, whatever. There's bubbly personalities all over the place. Mamma Mia, here we go again. I liked it. I will not say that. I will say maybe 60% on this one, where I had more fun in this movie than I did with the first one. In a couple of where the first one, none of the musical numbers stood out to me. There were a couple in this one that I liked a lot. I liked Waterloo. I liked that one. And I liked Dancing Queen, which whenever that comes on, you know it's going to be a bop.
ABBA's got some slappers. You know?
And then other than that, I was like, okay, whatever. But this movie shot better than the first one. The camera moves and everything. I think it's
acted better.
I mean, you got good actors.
The
acting,
roles. It's not. It's
you
not
can
that
tell
it's
they're
acted,
having fun.
The dialogue isn't great, and there's literally no story. If you said what's the story of the movie, I'd say there is none.
She's reopening the hotel, and she's reconciling. She's reconciling with the death of Meryl Streep.
Whoa. Are you for real?
That's why she's not in the movie.
And that's why it says it in the first minute of the movie.
Wait, is she really dead?
And it goes back to the flashback of her when she...
Lily James plays a young version of Meryl Streep, which is kind of unsettling because they don't look remotely similar in the slightest.
But time out. You guys aren't answering me. Did she actually die?
I think
oh, my God.
I think the cast...
Did they show her death?
No.
I'm joking.
They don't mention it. They just say... She passed on, and then they don't tell you at all.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because Meryl Streep was shooting another movie. They wanted to make Mamma Mia 2, and then they're like, we can get her for 2 days. We can get Meryl for 2 days. But
how do we write around this?
The casting for all the young, like Pierce Brosnan, Stellan Skarsgård.
They look exactly... The young Pierce Brosnan looks the least like the older version of him, but is it Alexander Skarsgård?
Stellan
Skarsgård. His younger version in this movie.
That's how I imagine he looked like when he was young.
He must have been a stud when he was young.
Yeah, I was like that.
Wow,
that's great. But
Colin Firth's guy looked pretty similar. That was good.
The chemistry between all the people are great. It's just there's not a lot there.
Yeah.
If you want to see fun musical numbers, sure, but there's not a lot more there. A lot of musicals have more stuff going on. You can tell this is clearly just it's not trying to be more than it is.
Yeah.
It's just here we're at this beautiful location and let's dance to some ABBA songs. one thing that stands out to Mamma Mia with me is that there's no original music, to my knowledge. I think they just take ABBA songs and work them into
ABBA songs.
And they just work them into the script.
Yeah.
And, I mean, dancing, most of the songs, most of them, not all of them, but most of them were used in the first movie as well. And, yeah. Dancing Queen's great. I think you should still watch both of them, Nick, because I think you would appreciate the transitions between past and present, and when they're singing, they sing like the same song in two different timelines. And I think I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, I like it. But everything else besides that, I didn't get much out of it. Besides, Waterloo was fun. All the young cast looked great, and I mean, that island looks pretty cool.
It's you know, it's one of those things where I couldn't help the fact that while I was watching, I was bored out of my mind. Like, that's a feeling like I can't tell myself.
You aged your life. I was invested.
You could tell. Yeah. So could my girlfriend who was there with us. Like, that's not my fault that I felt that way. You know what I mean? I'm not blaming the movie. Yeah. It's just like the way I felt watching it. I was bored. I was dozing in and out. I had to get up and walk around so I wouldn't fall asleep. I get up and I walk back in the
Mamma Mia.
It's just, it wasn't for me. It's not a movie that I enjoyed. I won't
when
watch
Dancing
it again.
Queen came on, though.
Oh, that song slaps. Great musical number. There's some redeeming. Like, it's not the worst movie I've seen this year.
1517 in Paris
is the worst movie I've seen this year. Correct.
It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I would agree. It was just it's whatever.
All right.
And then let me do a couple in the 8th grade. I watched we're almost. It'll take 10 seconds. I watched a David Cronenberg directed short film called Camera, which has some really great dialogue about what it's like to live as a filmmaker and what cameras do to your mind. I guess it's really interesting. I would recommend seeing it. It's 6 minutes long. And 8th grade. There we go. That's it. We did. Nate and I went and saw Mission Impossible again in IMAX.
Yeah, I mean,
it's one of the best movies of the year. One of the best.
Smacks my jaw.
It's incredible. Did you?
I think it's better the second time I watched it.
Did you guys hear they played it on the top of this crazy mountain?
It was a 4-hour scene of the movie.
Is that where it was?
Yeah,
that's awesome. It was a 2,000. I don't know. It was
2,000 people, and it was a 4-hour hike.
Yeah, that's
and then a
awesome.
2.5-hour movie.
I wish I could have gone.
All right. I'm going to run to the bathroom anyway because I have to use the bathroom pretty bad, and you guys can just chat about 8th grade. Well, I'll enter whenever I get back. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Can you leave?
All right.
Goodbye.
I loved it. I don't know what. I loved it. I thought it was it's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Shut the door.
What are you doing? Nick's an ape, guys. Okay. So what I feel like we should touch on before we jump into the final topic of the show, 8th grade. Finally open wide. Thank God. Rockford sucks. We finally get to see the good movies. So what are your thoughts on Bo Burnham?
Actually, I don't like his stand-up. Nothing against him as a person, but I watch a lot of stand-up comedians, and his specials that I've seen, they don't connect with me. I don't think they're that funny. But I saw him in The Big Sick. I believe he was in. Great. Really loved him in The Big Sick. I've listened to him on several podcasts, the H3 podcast. I really enjoyed him on that. So I like him as a person. It's just his stand-up isn't great for me.
So for me, I'm not super big into stand-up. I just watch certain people that I see and I like their style or whatever. And I can't even, because Bo Burnham's, it's not really stand-up either.
No, he's got a very unique style.
It's like a live performance, a live variety show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I feel like, I don't know, out of the stuff I've watched on Netflix when it comes to comedy, like stand-up comedy, live comedy, his stuff I like the best. Just because I love listening to John Mulaney talk for an hour and just tell stories. Love that. But something's different about Bo Burnham where I get I'm just kind of more invested in the theatrics that he puts on. And the finales to both of his specials on Netflix, I think, are great, and I still go back and watch them. So going into the year when I found out he was directing a movie, because he definitely, at the end of Make Happy, or whatever the second one was called, when you can tell it has, kind of towards the end, it starts to have a tone I don't know if Bo Burnham's going to make it, dude. He does not sound happy at all. And he just said he's going to stop doing stand-up or live for the foreseeable future. And then I was like, man, I hope he either makes a show or something because I'm interested to see. And then it went silent for about a year. And then it came out he was writing and directing a film for A24, and then boom, it skyrocketed to one of my most anticipated of the year. And I think it delivered. I'm excited to see what
he does next.
Yep, he does next.
For sure.
You can definitely tell that I don't know, it wasn't scared to be
different.
Yeah, and it wasn't scared to because a lot of stuff they try to mature up 8th graders, and they try to because 8th graders he described it perfectly, and I feel like the movie shows it perfectly, where 8th grade is a weird middle point of your development as a person, where you still have some childish stuff, but you're also trying to be an adult. High school is right around the corner. That's where the big people are, even though when you get to high school, it's just like middle school all over again. But that's where you start to become an adult. You got to leave all the childish stuff behind. But then you have kids that are still super childish when they get into high school. But then you still have people that think they're mature because they're not mature, but they think they're mature in 8th grade. Perfectly encapsulates this. Where I want to say one thing. It's not really a spoiler, but you have this guy in the movie that's supposed to be the guy, right? And he's talking about relationship stuff, I want him to be my boyfriend and all this, and I want pictures and all this stuff. And then it just shows him doing the stupid air through your closed lips, and it's yep, sounds about right, where people think they're more mature than they actually are. Exactly. People think they're more mature than they actually are in 8th grade. And I felt and I guess a lot of the 8th graders in the movie were just students at the school that they shot.
That's awesome.
You want to be in the movie?
I loved it as well. I think it's a wonderful coming of age movie. I think a lot of kids should see it. I think 8th graders should watch it, even though it's rated R and it's there's a lot of sexual things going on in the movie, but it's appropriate for the time because that's what they're thinking. And parents don't like to think that. They like to think they're ignorant to what their kids actually know about. And
what there's they dropped the F-bomb maybe 3 times. I've heard 8th
I
graders.
I
heard 8th graders say worse than that.
It was I really loved it. I thought the dad was amazing. Yep. It felt like the
movie.
core
cast was great.
It felt like the movie did not have a script. Every scene felt like I was watching a documentary, people having real conversations. You gotta
watch the before movies, dude.
I can't wait to see.
Yeah,
this.
It's just so natural. You can just. Yep, that's a conversation that people actually have with each other, and even. The principal would get up on stage and he'd be giving a speech, and then he would
someone yell.
Yeah, you would hear an 8th grader say he'd screw up a word, but then he would keep going because that's what you do when you screw up a word. You don't go back to it, or you don't redo the take. You just keep going. And I feel like even Bo Burnham was like, "Hey, if you screw up, just keep going, man. It doesn't matter."
It was it's an excellent movie. There's one scene I didn't like when I got out of the movie, but upon further reflection, I've changed my tune on it. I don't want to say what it is, but. So to me, it's essentially a perfect coming-of-age movie. Yeah. I really, 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 really loved it. The score is amazing. It's almost every scene has a certain amount of dread to it. And that sounds weird, but
when we were talking, it's shot like a horror movie.
The score is very horror-esque. But what I loved about it is that it every scene... It's you knew what she was going to because we've all been in those situations before. So you're rooting for her. Please don't make that mistake. Please don't do it. Yeah. And you know where it's going, and you know it's gonna happen. And there's this dread and this build up in the way it's shot. It's wonderful. Yep. I really think people should see it.
And one of the scenes I guarantee is gonna be scarier, or I have that sense from a horror movie that I have more than any of the other horror movies I've seen this year. I guarantee that scene puts me more on the edge of my seat than any of Slender Man. I can guarantee that.
How about Truth or Dare?
Truth or Dare was more of a comedy than anything to me, and I didn't even laugh that much at that movie. But
I laughed.
Yeah, I know you did. But I feel it's funny, it's scary, it's cringy,
but in a good way, in the way it needs to be.
In the way this is how
the way
life is.
Exactly.
This is how life is.
It's an excellent movie that I can't recommend enough. Definitely going to be one of my favorites.
There's a scene at the dinner table, which is one of my favorite scenes of the year.
Early on?
Early on.
Excellent scene.
20 minutes into the movie, maybe. I love it. Bo Burnham, can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah.
Don't know if it will get any Oscar love. I hope it does.
The performances are great, but they're on a really small scale. Exactly. If that makes sense. So it's not Oscar baity performances, but they're all excellent.
A Lucas Hedges, she gets nominated even though she's young for a best lead or whatever, like Lucas Hedges did for Manchester, because
that was different. That was a more meaty. Well, not her. She was excellent. I thought she was really, really great. But the one thing that I don't understand, I've seen one of my friends say this, is that the movie didn't have like a good enough climax, or it didn't have enough story. And this movie is just about her living through the last couple weeks of 8th grade. And it tells it perfectly. That's the whole point. You know, it doesn't need to have the big revelation, you know, here's the point of the movie at the end. I think it does. It says what its message is extremely well.
And I made it clear before that my favorite movies are just the talks. Like when it's just people talking. So like, especially like you'll watch like when you watch the before movies, you'll notice that it's very similar to this, where it's just a slice of life, no real big climax, no real big here's the end of the movie, anything like that. It's kind of just like here's the story, here's the cut of this person's life, and then then she's gonna move on, but you don't need to see that. This is what we decided to show you. And I think even because like each movie just being a movie kind of needs a climax, and I feel like this climax in this movie was
it was perfect.
It served its purpose, and I like one of my favorite scenes in the movie too. Everything the dad did was perfect. That's probably gonna be me if I ever have kids, and that scares me.
He seemed like the perfect, like sometimes if I picture my dad and how he's gonna be with. I have a sister who's a couple years younger than the main character was in this movie, and just his responses, everything she would say and do, it was like my dad to a T, and I loved it. You know, it was perfect seeing how real this movie was. Nothing felt fake. You know, earlier this year I saw Love, Simon, which a lot of people raved about how good it was. And to me, there's so many characters in the movie that don't feel like real people, so it drags the movie down. This movie, every single person feels like a real. Every scene that happens feels like I lived it. I've seen it. It's real. I can't recommend watching this movie.
I agree. What was I going to say? Like, finally, like speaking about like the dad and how real it felt is it's like. Because it's not really spoilery, but like he's like a single dad, like it's just him and his daughter, right? And just in my mind, I couldn't even fathom how that might be. Where like she's going through all these changes that you've never had to go through, and you don't have the same problems that she does.
Absolutely.
He's trying his best.
Yeah,
and you can tell that he's trying his best.
And she's just rebelling as all kids do,
he's
and
cutting him off because it's like you don't understand, and he's like, "But I'm your dad, so you can talk to me." And it's kind of like. Because like in my mind, if that was me in the situation, this is exactly how I'd be. Where I was like, I'm trying to understand what's happening, but I have no idea. I don't have any idea what's going through your mind, and I think I loved it. I think it's great. I can definitely one of the movies that I was scared that it would maybe be overhyped for me, but it lived up to the hype. And once again, just excited to see what Bo Burnham has to offer us in the future.
That's what I'm. Walking out of the theater, I'm most excited to see what he does next.
And I hope he continues with movies.
Directing.
Like,
because
I think that's what he found.
He has some style. Like the way every shot seems like, you know, this is exactly how he wanted it to look, and it's very unique looking when you compare this to other coming of age movies like The Edge of 17, which I also think was really good. Yeah. But that's just more of it's just shot really generically, like it looks pretty basic. This movie has a lot of flair to it.
Yeah, sometimes that serves a purpose where it's like you can just shoot like you're watching. Like there's a difference between you're just watching a conversation and then like you're in the conversation.
Right.
And that's what I feel like this movie does, where the dinner table scene, one of the best directed sequences of this year. It's by Bo Burnham. I can't believe and then
he's absolutely a talented guy.
Like we said, how it feels like horror movies. Great horror shots, like something with a banana. You'll understand that if you see the movie.
That whole sequence is my favorite scene in the movie. Just the way everything goes, and then the way it finishes. It's awesome. I can't wait to talk to more people who see it. It's a great movie. Can't recommend it enough.
Okay, well that will wrap it up, and we don't need Nick here. So thank you guys so much for listening to. Thank you guys so much for listening to episode 2 of the Talan Brothers podcast.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Nick Talan. We are signing off now. I just want to remind you that today is August, 2nd, 3rd?
4th?
Today's the August 4th. Podcast audio will be up sometime today. Hopefully get approved by iTunes and Spotify once we move providers or host website. And the YouTube video, Podcast 1, should be up on August 4th. And this one should be up shortly following that. Pray for me. Pray for my computer.
What am I supposed to say?
Just sign off.
It doesn't matter. I'm Tyler Bourne. This was an awesome podcast. Can't wait to do it again next week.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. Yep, can't wait to keep doing this, having a lot of fun, talking about movies. Should have a bunch more to talk about. I'm going to probably try to watch another Hayao Miyazaki movie.
We didn't get a whole bunch in.
Nah, we were busy. It was a busy week. But we still managed to get together and talk. That sounds so great on the mics. Cool. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.